What is going on, YouTube? Onyx back on this MUT 15, and today I just want to show you guys basically some highlights of. I was just playing like I said, I'm doing a dual style challenge, just still trying to finish this up real quick. And this was on All Madden, and as you can see, I beat the shit out of the Eagles on All Madden 35-3. And I'm just trying to, a lot of people have issues on Madden because it cheats, but it doesn't really cheat. I mean, they do, but they basically tend to do a lot of the corny shit that players do, like back screens and fucking out routes and corner routes, and it's really not that difficult. The hardest thing to do on All Madden is score, because it's very difficult to throw the ball most of the time because their defense just cheats. No matter how sorry their cornerbacks are, they're always in the right spot. But the easiest way to stop that, first of all, is to run the ball, and it is extremely easy to do when you have mystery Chris Johnson in your backfield, because you can just do stuff like this and it turns into a touchdown. Almost any other running back other than Bo Jackson and a few others, maybe Andre Ellington, 94 LaShawn McCoy, that would not have been a touchdown. And then when you're running, basically the whole first drive, I just ran the ball down their throat. And then when you're running the ball like that, it works on All Madden just like it works against humans. When you're running the ball like that, people are going to start playing run type of defenses. They're going to start running man and man blitzes and bringing people down to the line. As you can see right here, there's 7 people down in the box. So this is one of my go-to like play action deep throws that I like to do after I make you commit to the run. And basically, if I see that you're down in the box like this, that you have 7-8 people down in the box like this, I'm gonna do this play. If you come out and your safeties are still back deep, I'll either change it to a run or I'll change it to a verticals, depending on what you do or what the defense is doing. Like I said, All Madden works just like a player. You can still trick them. Once I see they come down in the box, see how the linebacker came down to the running back thinking he had the ball, and then they're like, wait, he doesn't. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. That one safety back there cannot cover that route. This crossing deep route, the cornerback and one safety cannot cover it. It's impossible. It's always open. If they're not running a zone, it is always, if you're running man defense and it's not like cover to man, it's always open. There's nothing you can do about it. And most of the time when you run the ball down somebody's throat, they tend to come down in some type of run stopping defense or something of the sorts. Now here, like I was saying, computer All Madden plays kind of just like people online. Now usually when I'm playing defense, I like to man up. As long as you have good corners that are about 94 speed or faster with like 95 man coverage, you're usually good, because there's not too many receivers that have higher than 95 route running. So as long as they're not running slants or crossing routes, your cornerbacks can usually stay with those receivers. Now the other thing a lot of people mess up, especially if you're using your safeties, if you run cover 2, your safeties stay back deep. Now when you run cover 2, your cornerbacks play up close, as you can see on all the wide receivers, because they know the safeties are back deep. So basically, that's why it's called cover 2 under. They press the receivers and they stay tight underneath of them, usually, is what they try and do. So if you get your safeties out of position, that's usually the easiest way to get beat deep. But like I was saying, the main place that most people go to, and so does All Madden, is the tight ends and the corners. So once I see I manned you up, I look for your tight end. If your tight end's on this side, I'll use the free safety. If the tight end was on the other side, I'd use the strong safety. And basically, I'm just going to watch for a corner route out of the tight end. So I see him come out, because most of the time, your linebacker cannot cover this. As soon as he comes out, he breaks. I see that break. See how he destroyed that linebacker. But I'm playing this route. I knew he was going to do this. As you can see, everybody else is locked up. Like I said, as long as your corners have decent 95 or better man coverage, they're going to be on their mans good enough. Everybody else is locked up. He got a safety over the top on that side. I basically was just playing the tight end, seeing if he was going to run this corner. He did run it. I jumped it, and that's a touchdown. Like I said, people, computer, everybody basically does the exact same thing. I usually destroy All Madden on defense with just playing man defense, as long as they don't run it down my throat and I can't stop it. Sometimes it's difficult to stop the run because they like to do BS. But yeah, I typically destroy them with man defense because, like I said, as long as your corners have like 94, 95 man coverage, it's good enough to stop most receivers. And then you just have to watch for those basically uncoverable routes. Tight ends are very difficult to cover, especially by a linebacker. Even cornerbacks get beat by tight ends on those out routes and corner routes and stuff like that. In zones, it is very easy to also beat those zones with those type of routes, especially cover threes. That's usually wide open in a cover three, especially if they have somebody underneath on that side or something like that. Like I said, the main thing you want to do is run the ball on offense. You want to run the ball down their throat. Like I said, if you have this mystery Chris Johnson, it is very easy. You don't have to do too much. You basically just hand him the ball in this Saints offense and you just run. And this is on All Madden. This is just too easy of a run on All Madden. With it really didn't matter. I basically just was running the ball down their throat all day long and then stopping them on defense. Just give them counters and powers. A lot of people like to run 0-1 traps on the computer because they can't stop that either. The Saints playbook doesn't have that many 0-1 traps. They have like 3, and I don't really like them. And that counter and that power out of the pistol is very difficult to stop by anybody, computer, human. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, the main thing you really have to learn when playing on All Madden is watching for specific watching the formations of the offense and the defense. Mainly the offense. Like I was saying, when I took this interception back for a touchdown, when you come out, you basically want to look at where everybody's lined up, who's where, and what usually happens in these formations. Like I said, I look for the tight end. I found him. Most of the time, if he's going out on a route, he's going out on a corner route. It could have been an inside route, but that's not usual. If it would have been an inside route, they would have beat me. He would have got about 5-6 yards, nothing serious, but he would have beat that linebacker more than likely. But seeing as the linebacker's already inside, I wasn't really too worried about the inside route. I was more so worried about the corner. And the only other thing I was worried about is if Jordan Matthews, the slot receiver, could have did the same type of route and ran to the corner. So I basically was watching between the tight end and the slot receiver to see who was running that corner. And like I said, as long as your cornerbacks have good enough man coverage, they're going to be in good coverage on everybody else. So you don't really have to worry about you don't really have to worry about getting beat by curls and stuff like that with cover two man under and stuff like that, because as you can see, cornerbacks are underneath the receivers. If that would have been a curl, he would have been underneath of it. All these other short underneath routes, as long as it's not a slant or a crossing route, it's very hard to beat man defense. Now, in the same sense, it is very easy to beat man defense, because if you just run slant after slant after slant, it's almost impossible for any cornerback to stop slants in man-to-man defense. I don't know why. Even if you try and put them to the inside and try and tell them to shade the inside of the receiver, it doesn't work most of the time. You need a really good cornerback, and even then, only once in a while where they jump that route and actually get a touchdown. or actually get an interception or stop it or whatnot. I don't know why I said get a touchdown. But yeah, like I was saying, but the main thing you need to do is just run the ball down their throat. As you can see, I was running it with Frank Gore and Chris Johnson. I basically used Chris Johnson. He was a backup to Frank Gore. Frank Gore did the majority of the work in the beginning of the game, and then I only gave it to Chris Johnson like twice in the beginning of the game, and both times he got the ball, he scored. And then like the end of the game, he got 7 more carries because he was only in on one specific play, and that's why he had so many attempts. Majority of his yards were off of like 3 plays where they get used to Frank Gore being slow and not really going anywhere, and then Chris Johnson comes out of nowhere and he's gone. But yeah, it's really not that difficult to beat All Madden. Like I said, you really just need to pay attention to tight ends and them corner routes and stuff like that. And they like to throw screens too. I don't know why, but screens are easy to stop if you're playing man defense. Usually, not only does your linebacker get underneath of it, but usually as long as you have good enough defensive linemen, one of them will also spot out the screen. The quarterback will have nowhere to throw it, and he usually gets sacked. I don't get too many screens thrown on me, at least not by the computer. And as you can see, I was playing on All Madden because I just finished this long pass speed run. Go ahead and put that in the set.